MMA and Cobrina Jiu-Jitsu out in L.A. What's up, Donald?
What's going on, man?
Good to have you. Of course, Maria Rios and Miguel.
What's up?
In-house as well. And going to talk some stuff, talk about the fights, go over what happened over the weekend. We had a big weekend out at Spar Stars at Commerce Casino. That led us to our buddy here, Donald, who's got quite a colorful history. So we wanted to talk to him more in depth and find out about him and his journey with fighting, jiu-jitsu, and life in general, because he's an all-around colorful and cool dude.
That's probably the best description anyone ever used for me, so I'll take it.
Yeah, other than looking like Ellen DeGeneres' brother, you got a hell of a story.
And Kramer.
Minus the
little
fro.
cross between the two.
I like it. That's a good
I used to have the fro back in the day.
Yeah.
So.
I could picture it.
Dude, I love
But
I love Seinfeld.
in other news, PFL, Professional Fight League, I think it's called. There's a big fight coming up this week. A big in regards to things that are changing. Kayla Harrison being her first fight, being a judo actual gold medal winner, where Ronda was only a bronze. So this girl brings some possibility with her, and she's fighting. She's mean. That's what I'm getting at, and some mean skill level. We already saw what one judoka once brought, so that's where I think people are wondering. But no fight or pro fights to look at really other than this will be her first. And Brittany Elkin, who's a badass. She actually performed here in this building. She had a match for Fight to Win, match or two for Fight to Win. It was just incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. She's just a great opponent. So we'll see. PFL's tomorrow. They did weigh-ins today. Hats off to both of them. We will see who the victor is. But
that'll be a good fight.
It's a war I would definitely like to check out, and I hope to have more information for the viewers. But we, the Gym Crashers, covered Spar Stars 40 over the weekend. So thank you again, Tony T-Bone Steaks Padilla, Michael Gross, and team, because they allow us to go out there and be a part of the crew, do interviews, meet the fighters, meet the coaches, trainers, and the fans, and be a part of the event. And it's always a kick-ass event. So my man Donald here had his fight. Doesn't always end up the way you want it to, but it is called fighting and not winning. Mm-hmm. It's not what it's all about. It's about putting your best out there. Sometimes we leave it to the judges and the decision doesn't go our direction or the direction we want it to, but doesn't mean you don't get up and fight again. So Take it from there. How did things go, and how you feeling?
The first round went by the game plan. I knew that he liked to throw a lot of big kicks, and he was a bit of a boxer, but I knew I could out-wrestle him, and so my whole plan was he likes to throw body kicks. First round, which we'll go over with technique of the week, I caught the kick, took him down. Second round, unfortunately, I took a knuckle directly in my eyeball.
Oh, man.
And I had to fight for – they allowed me to fight for a second round as well with it, where I had to close my right eye because if I opened it, I couldn't find him. And he kept cutting to the right, which was smart on him.
Sure.
And he went southpaw, which, southpaws keep him on the right. Unfortunately, I couldn't see where he was, so for the next two rounds I fought blind, but even with that being said, he barely really hurt me. He didn't really do anything that I find did any real damage, but he did do enough, in my opinion, at the end. I knew that he did enough to win the judges over. So
sure.
Unfortunately, that happens, but in the amateur league, this is the time where I'm going to learn those hard lessons.
Sure.
And
get those losses out of the way.
Such a good
That's right. Get those losses out of the way first.
You have a good attitude, man. What was his name? Nate Krasinski? Is that it?
Zach Krasinski.
Zach Krasinski. That's it.
Everybody has a hard time with his last name.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But where's he from? What's the history on him?
He trains out of Boss Rutan.
Okay, so he's out in Van Nuys or Hollywood, somewhere out there in the valley, right? Simi Valley. What
Something
is it?
like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he
out
was
there
a
off
bit
the
of a
101
crowd favorite too,
Yeah.
and so it's tough. Where I'm not from around these parts. I'm from a small town in upstate New York, and so when I come here as well, sometimes I hate to say this, but sometimes the judges rule in favor if the crowd seems more excited about another fighter, and I had a bit of a crowd there for myself as well, but I know that he brought more of a following as well, and so that happens as well.
Yeah. No, but you brought it, and you fought your fight, and you did what you had to do.
I felt great. I had honestly, at the end of the night, I understood why I lost, and I just had a really fun time getting to perform in front of a bunch of my friends and family. So
I love it. So where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York, from a small town called Saratoga Springs, New York. I started fighting out there, and what happened was I actually was the #1 ranked lightweight in New York State, and I was always having a hard time, even before that happened, finding fights because, we just didn't have the options. And I spent a year traveling the world deciding, where do I want to train? Where do I want to live? Is this for me? And I went all over, but my last stop was California, and I moved here.
Now, was that when it was still illegal MMA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a weird loophole where amateur was okay, but the
Oh.
athletic commission didn't get involved. So
There's nobody making money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And even now it's legalized, there's still like, it's not so much the athletic commission's confused, it's the promoters that were running it before. It's very expensive for them to run the show there because, they want part of their money. And they,
Yeah. Okay.
it takes money to be able to make a fight happen. And
Yeah.
there's the legal fees and stuff. But when I was fighting out there, you either had to go out of state if you wanted to have a pro fight, or you could, another loophole was going to a Native American reservation where like a casino was.
Nice.
Sure.
Good old
that
sovereign
loophole here.
land.
Yeah.
A good old
And
Southern
so
land.
there'd be some fights I'd be having out there, and I would have fights where I'd show up and they go, "Oh, your opponent doesn't have a copy of his blood work." I'm like,
Screw it.
"So what is
Aren't we on Indian land?
Okay, so he needs that,
I go
right?
raw anyways.
Honestly,
That's what I go raw anyways.
New York was the sketchiest place I fought. There was Vermont. It was weird.
Yeah.
Just so weird.
Yeah,
Just,
the idea of it sounds weird to me.
Yeah.
What was weird about it?
So Rutland, Vermont, and it honestly it was one of those towns where there was just a whole lot of nobody. And so these people, I show up, there was no security, there was no one stopping you, there was no one like not here where like they lead you into the ring and so like I get done with the fight. Also, this cage was not well maintained. It was an actual chain link fence. There was no
Oh,
Nice.
jeez.
and so like, I ended up against it and I felt it digging into me and there was a fighter
lacerations
whose
on your
opponent
back?
wasn't there.
Sounds like
and-
Eastern Europe to me.
Yeah, and they even invited an audience member to
Eastern
fight
US.
someone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's like
legit.
backyard
One of the guys, his opponent didn't show up, so they made an announcement like, "Who wants to fight?" And they let an audience member come in, and then the audience member won, which is the hilarious
A
part.
little closer to the mic, just so they catch you. Just
sorry,
a little
sorry.
closer. No, I don't want you to lose track. We
Did
leave
you,
that in. Before you
ever
know, it, we
fight-
don't have a show.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just all over the
Yeah.
place.
Just a little closer. You were good.
So did you ever fight in Maine?
In Maine, no. I actually lived out there briefly. My sister was actually born there.
Where?
I don't even remember the name of the town. I was so young. We were on the border of Maine and Virginia.
Oh,
so
okay.
technically Virginia.
Is that the other side?
Virginia.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maria lived in the
Oh,
forest in Maine,
Yeah.
not exactly
I lived
a city.
in Portland and in East
In
Baldwin.
the forest
which
of
is-
Portland and East Baldwin.
Yeah. East Baldwin is the
There was
forest
no
part.
road where her house was parked.
That's right. I lived in a camper in the middle of nowhere.
I love that. This is a great
Off the
story.
grid.
Yeah, you talk about a fighter. She's fighting off the
Shit, that's
cold
what-
in Maine. There ain't no better
He
fight
knows
than
about
that.
the cold.
Oh,
He's
Jesus.
from up
New
north.
York, you got like
Yeah.
9-month-long winters. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He knows what's
Sometimes
up.
I miss the snow until I'm like, it's fun for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
I was thinking
That's
2
what I
hours.
said. It was fun. It was like super badass. Like the first year I was there, because it was like, oh shit, there's 4 feet of snow. Woo!
Yeah.
And then
it's
after that,
nice
you're like,
and
When's it go away?
then you got to wake up
What?
20 minutes early to shovel out the car and all
Yeah.
that. And it's just,
Oh, fuck
Might as
that.
well unplug the fridge and throw all the groceries out the door.
yeah.
pretty much. I mean, save.
Actually, we did sometimes use the outdoors as a refrigerator. I
Sure.
won't lie. That's some red.
Don't eat the
That's
yellow
cold.
snow because that's where I go. You know?
Oh, now you tell me.
Yeah, well, it happens. But yeah, good story. So Vermont, New York, where else did you go? Jersey, fighting Jersey?
Yep. I actually was licensed to fight in Massachusetts at one point too. That actually was one of the stricter regulations, but what happened, that was supposed to be my first fight.
You know, boxing's big there, so I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how fighting is regulated there, right?
2 days before I was supposed to have my first fight in Massachusetts, they call me, they go, your opponent had to drop. I go, why? They go, he had to pull out. He got a new tattoo last week and it got infected. And I'm like, why'd you get a new tattoo right before a fight?
Yeah.
And then you go on the mats with that, and they said he's got
Get
MRSA.
staff. Oh,
Of course
No,
he's
he got-
geez.
yeah, he got
That's even
MRSA.
worse than staph.
I'm like, you can stay away from me then. I don't even want to touch you with a 10-foot pole,
No.
man.
Like,
straight
come
up.
on. You're freaking stupid.
The funniest reason I've ever had for a guy to drop out of a fight, it was the day before Wayne's. They called me. They said your opponent got a pitchfork in his shoulder. And I'm
like,
like,
how does that happen?
I'm from a small
What are
town
you
where like there's a
doing?
lot of farms and stuff, so I'm like, I can understand that there's a pitchfork somewhere in your vicinity. I'm just curious how it found its way inside of you. That's what I'm.
Well, if you got a buddy that's all pissed off and he's picking
Yeah.
up dog shit and he hucks the pitchfork,
Yeah, it just-
and you're walking by with a 12-pack of beer,
Yeah. Well, my
trust
town's
me,
actually
he
like
throws shit all the time. I'm glad he doesn't own a pitchfork.
my town's really famous for horses, so I'm like, all right, was he working with hay or something? Like, so
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can think of. But
Crazy.
it's just that's the fight
Pitchfork
world.
in the shoulder.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm not even mad
Wow.
at that point. I was more curious than anything else, and I never heard the end of that story. So,
Interesting.
So Saratoga Springs is where you're from.
Yeah.
Where's the nearest big city?
Syracuse.
Math. Albany, probably.
Oh, the capital.
Yeah. I used to actually box out there too. So
Okay, so that's,
and-
you had to go into town to box.
Mhm.
So you didn't get your fighting start necessarily in school at Saratoga Springs, slugging it out at recess, right?
There, I did
Little
get
bit of
myself
that?
in a bit of trouble in school. Not gonna lie, I was a bit of
Yeah.
a troubled child. And then my mom signed me up for martial arts, and she actually regrets that very much because of what I do now. But
So what was that? Taekwondo?
yeah,
Karate?
started off with Taekwondo. It was a small
Huge.
little school. It wasn't anything serious.
Sure.
But when I got older, I wanted to continue. I wrestled in high school too, and that was a lot more serious.
Well, yeah,
And
that's where it
then
gets real, right?
when I got older, I decided there was something more, and I knew I didn't know it all. But like at the Taekwondo school, like I could beat up everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't
Even Master Tang,
I mean, it just
with all of his wins across Asia.
Yeah,
Here
pretty much.
Donald walks in and just takes him out,
Yeah.
thumps him with wrestling
pretty much yeah.
and recess fighting. I love it.
And then I decided this place, like the place that I was training at for Taekwondo, I started realizing it's kind of a cult mentality, and they
Sure.
would shame you if you wanted to go somewhere else.
Wow.
And
I'll be a creonch.
yeah,
I don't know
so
if you heard the term, but
I moved on. And what happened was I went to different schools all around the area. And there was one specifically in Saratoga
Yeah.
that I found on accident. I gave up. So I used to work. I was going to school part-time and just trying to figure out my life. And I was working at this gift shop. I was a manager.
cool.
And this guy walks in, he's telling me about this martial arts school that's literally 3 miles down the road. So I go check it out. They got a really good jiu-jitsu program and kickboxing.
What the heck in Saratoga Springs?
Yeah, yeah.
Who's the
You're, like,
instructor?
Yeah.
sold.
His name's Shihan James Brushak.
Whoa.
And he
Sound like your guy out there.
Yeah.
What's his name? Joe Jack. Brushak and Joe Jack.
J Jack.
J Jack. That's it.
and they're famous Native American authors too. And so get this. So this school, it's a renovated barn. It used to be a taxidermy studio.
Kind of cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing but dead
Dude, they
things
should
in
put
there.
that up.
And like they actually do have some like dead animals hanging
possums,
around
like,
the place.
stuffed
Wow.
possums in
Of course
There is
they
actually
do.
stuffed possum somewhere in there, some elk and stuff as well. So like, it's a Native
I've never
American.
stuffed
Elk
a
is
possum.
so good. Mm.
And they
man.
also do wilderness survival teaching and stuff there. And
Yeah.
then they decided they
That's
wanted
pretty
to
cool.
Dude, like imagine eating peyote and then rolling.
Oh,
Oh,
I couldn't do
No,
it.
you'd probably like.
Just for the record, I couldn't do it. Rolling, yes, but not with other people.
you eat like half an edible, dude, and you flip out.
That's right. Beach Boulevard on fire.
oh, dude, out in New York, dude, it's still like marijuana is like one of those things that the cops still freak out about.
Really?
Oh, they'll treat it
Really?
like a heroin.
Are you
dose
near
sometimes.
Woodstock up there? Is that where it's at? Kinda.
Yeah, yeah. It's
All those
that's
hippies?
probably, I want to say an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's
depending
still
on-
kind of close for the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
part. Because to get to the big cities, like 6 hours, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
To
still
get
not too far.
to New York City is probably about 4.5 hours. There's
Okay.
a train I used to take once a week. I would go there, take 3 hours as long as everything went correctly. And
Got it.
I would train at Marcelo Garcia's once a week.
Oh, that's heavy.
And it was a blast.
Yeah.
I loved it
That's
down
fucking
there,
dope.
but I could never live in New York City.
What year was that? When were you training with Marcelo?
When did I move here? I moved in October. It'll be 2 years. So
So fairly recent.
yeah, before that I was going to Marcelo's relatively often.
So he was already Marcelo. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Not like he just got there and you discovered him.
Yeah, no.
There's a Brazilian in town. I'm going
Like
to
you
train
couldn't
with him.
swing a dead cat in that place.
Yeah,
That
no
had
way,
World
yeah.
champion
For sure.
It was really fun.
Yeah, they breed them there.
Yeah.
Oh, even like you would get blue belt world champions, and there'd be a black belt that came into town where like he just. Regular run-of-the-mill jiu-jitsu black belt, still really good. But
Sure.
they go against a blue belt world champion, and they're getting tooled on. And Marcelo would walk up and be like, "Oh, I'm going to switch you with someone else. I'm sorry about that."
Getting smoked.
Oh, yeah.
You're just getting rolled up by
There's
our
different
blue
games. That's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
There's some different games out there, right?
Oh, completely.
And different levels of playing the game.
And I look at it because I'm a giant nerd where I went to Marcelo's once a week because I looked at it as like, I'm going to level up each time I go.
Yeah.
And that's just how my brain thought about it.
Not a bad thought.
Yeah. And honestly, that's how I got into martial arts was just because of violent Japanese anime, just being a really nerdy
Whoa.
kid. So. Wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob, but somehow Dragon Ball Z, that was okay. So think about that one. I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Saratoga Springs, you're fighting all around the eastern coast, and then you decide to travel the world. What does that look like? When you say world, do you mean the U.S. or do you mean the world, the globe?
So I went to Montreal first, actually a TriStar.
Yeah.
And I checked that out. It was pretty dope for the most part.
Yeah, those guys are
I
legit, right?
stayed at a hostel for like $12 a night. I
Nice.
probably spent about 3 days there. I really enjoyed it there. Getting out of Montreal, it's another subject because here, like a detour sign gets you to your detour sign in Montreal is just a giant middle finger. That's all it
Whoa.
is, and you just can't find your way out.
End up in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. And the GPS doesn't know that there's construction, apparently.
Of course
But
not.
I went to Florida to American Top Team. I went to Charlotte, where Lucas Lepre runs his
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu school, but I couldn't find a good place there for striking. But Lucas Lepre was one of my heroes with jiu-jitsu. And then I always liked Master Raphael and Cobrina, so I came out here, and one of my friends, Gabriel Gollart, he's one of the black belts at Transit Cobrinas, so...
It seems like you know a lot of big names and you're able to get yourself in some places.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting, especially like going to Marcelo's, and I would hang out with guys like Bernardo Faria and Jonathan Satava, and we would all talk and we'd have dinner together, and I would ask them their thoughts on it as well before I even made those decisions. And they said, honestly, with how young you are,
They're like,
go for it. Like,
just
learn.
go.
exactly. So I have absolutely no regrets about my decision moving here.
yeah, that's cool
That's
that they
cool,
gave you
man.
that
Yeah, for
advice,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the same advice we hear all the time. Everybody
Yeah.
gets a little bit different.
Well-
Some people want to hoard talent.
Yeah, there are a lot of schools where I'm from as well where they, exactly what you're saying, they hoard talent, they hold on to their fighter, and they wouldn't grow.
Right.
And there's guys from my hometown, and not to bash them or nothing, but I'm going to probably bash them a little bit, but like they would jump from having like a 4-0 record as an amateur into like a small pro fight and then to Bellator. And there's been some fighters I know that have done that.
Yeah.
And they jumped to Bellator, and it's like you went
Get
from
smoked.
high school football, skipped past college football, went to the NFL, and
Yeah.
they just get destroyed. And I saw that mistake, and I knew it was a mistake, and I said, you know what? I'd rather move out somewhere where I know that there's tougher fighters just in terms of amateurs. Like I have 16 fights,
Yeah.
but the majority of them were in New York. And I knew for a fact that out there it wasn't as tough as it is out here. And I decided I wanted to grow first and not make the mistake where if you go pro, if you lose, that's permanent.
Yeah,
you know?
it's on your
There's
record.
no going back.
Yeah, if you lose as an amateur, no one's going to remember.
It's
It's like stealing a car when you're 15.
Exactly.
It goes away.
You sound like you're talking from experience on that one.
He is. Look
Stole
how
a couple
evil.
cars in my time.
Oh, and the big thing though for me was I was going to college. I really had no idea what I was doing, and I was mostly doing it because I was afraid of my father. And my dad was suffering from blastoglioma, which is brain cancer.
Oh, it's tough, man.
And as he was passing away, and they let us know like there was 0% mortality rate. When he died, I took that as I didn't have a fight yet, and I started fighting as my way of dealing with the pain.
Sure.
And when I moved out here as well, like I tell people a lot that I moved out here for fighting. It's partially true, but also like it helped. I knew moving out here would help me heal and face my issues,
Sure.
and I've found so much happiness, and I've gotten rid of a lot of anger being out here too.
Yeah.
And that's why my name is the Soldier Son. My dad was a major in the Army, and so
I didn't realize that. Yeah, the soldier's son. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that now. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
heavy, man.
Yeah, so just tying
You're
all
a
that
survivor,
together.
man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's heavy.
My dad was a tough dude. He said did a long time in the military. So
Yeah. Very
And,
cool. It's a good story. Sorry about the ending. Of course, it's a terrible
I know
thing,
I just
but-
brought everyone down for a second. I apologize for
but
that.
you know, there's two kinds of people, and there's ways of looking at it. Like somebody may say, "Oh, he ran off to the other side of the country." No, he's going to start a new life.
Yeah.
You know, and you
I
got to
had
start over,
I had to get away.
right? Every day you wake up, you got to start over.
Yeah. And like I gave up everything. Like I quit my job. I had a girlfriend at the time, and we ended up breaking up when I moved out here, and I wasn't sure how that was going to work. But I told myself, I said, you know what? I could stay, and she could still dump me.
Yeah.
And I just decided I'm going to risk everything because
So
I'm
smart.
young and dumb, and thank
Yeah.
God I did.
And I heard there's a bunch of girls in California.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously.
hey,
A whole bunch of them.
if you want, I can tell you some funny first date stories later because
Yeah,
that's.
yeah, yeah. It's a whole other show, but we'll make it happen.
Oh, dude,
Hold on the
It was-
mattress.
It was that show we were talking about earlier.
Mattress.
We'll call it Tinder Dates Gone Wrong.
Oh, I have some stories for that.
Oh yeah,
Show.
I love it.
This just took a turn.
Oh,
There's
boy.
like an Indian Tinder. They call it Tandoor. I don't know how true that is, but I heard that.
Yeah, I actually met my girlfriend out here now. We live together. She's phenomenal to me.
I was gonna say I saw a young lady at the fights. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
there for you, ready to support. She was really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, I messed up so bad after though. I went to go introduce her to Heather Leanne, the matchmaker.
Yeah, Heather.
I don't know if you were in the room when that happened, but like, my girlfriend was
Oh,
in front
boy.
of us.
Oh,
Heather was
boy.
next to me, and I go, "Hey," and I meant to say, "This is my girlfriend Corey." Her name's
Yeah.
Corey, and instead I went, "Corey, this is my girlfriend." And I'm like, oh no! Oh god!
It's a Dumb and Dumber moment.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
it's
just
all
like,
good.
those words were supposed to go somewhere, and she laughed. She laughed it off. She doesn't have any.
At least you
jokes.
got it.
But like Heather was like, "Oh my god, no, I'm not. I'm so sorry." And I'm just like, "Oh my god." I just dug a hole.
You had a Kramer moment.
Heather is hilarious, by the way.
Oh, I love her.
She needs her own comedy show.
Yeah, I talked to Tom McLean about doing a comedy show as well, so I might be doing that.
I love it.
Fucking awesome.
You got it, man. You
I
got
got
skills.
I got some material. Mostly just going to talk about my family and my dating life, but
Cool. We do comedy here. I think it's Sundays. We'll talk to you about that.
Oh,
But we
I
got
would
it
love
here.
to. I would love to.
We got it going on. All right. So you move out to California. You move in with or start training with Kings, right? That was your first spot.
Yeah, how'd you get?
How do you end up in Huntington
Yeah.
Beach? What brings you to Huntington Beach? The name Kings?
Yeah, pretty much I just saw Kings. I wasn't even looking at the area. Like, I didn't care. I just more so was looking at the people in the gym. And the biggest thing about Kings compared to any other gym I trained at was they cared about me. Like,
That's
there were
cool.
other big name gyms where, like, they'd teach you, but, like,
You're just another number
Exactly.
taken off the wall.
and if you do well, then great. And if not, oh well. At Kings, like, Master actually checks on me and makes sure I'm doing okay. And
That's a big deal.
yeah, exactly. And he does a very good job of caring to everybody, I've noticed, which is why I was like, this is where I want to be. I want someone who's actually going to help me
Is he actually there quite a bit?
all the time,
Wow.
every day,
Okay.
every single day. And he's got a gym in West Hollywood as well.
I live in his neighborhood, so I kind of see him, you know,
Yeah.
and his wife. They're constantly all over the place. I just wasn't sure how focused he was at the gym.
Yeah.
I know he's got a lot of other duties.
And-
You could see action at King's MMA in the morning. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. guys are throwing
Oh, yeah.
Muay Thai, right? You go watch Muay Thai that same night, and he's in Brazil. I'm like, what the hell's going on over there? Is
Literally,
really
he was
there?
just in Vegas Tuesday, and then he's back today.
I don't know how they keep those schedules,
Yeah.
but I've
he
seen him
was
everywhere.
here Monday, Vegas Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
back. Like, he's just all
Bonsai
over
Bowls
the
in the afternoon, then he's in Brazil in the afternoon.
place. I don't know how he does it, honestly, and he's been doing it his whole life. Though.
Crazy.
And his wife and I have talked about it where, like, sometimes he'll be gone for months at a time.
Wow.
Oh,
And
wow.
then he'll come back. But he's usually always there unless he's somewhere else for one of the fighters. Like, if Kelvin has a fight in Brazil, he's going to be there a week or two early with him, helping him train and get
Sure.
ready because, that's a big fight.
That's huge. Everybody's watching Kelvin right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Want to see what happens with that.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
brings it, but man, I want to see some consistency. That's what we're wondering,
Yeah.
right? And then the weight class change.
Yeah, that was crazy, too. Honestly, though, like, some people, like, doubt him and stuff, in my opinion. I'm pretty...
He's young, dude.
Yeah.
There's still a whole lot of time left.
How old is he?
Probably 23, 24.
Oh
He
my
came in
God,
super
he's
young.
so
Actually,
he was the youngest
me and him
Ultimate
are
Fighter.
only a few months apart, and I'm 26, I think.
Okay,
he's-
so 26.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go. It's close.
So he's...
like, okay,
That's
he's
still
40.
pretty young,
Yeah.
you know.
When he had his
He was
first-
the youngest Ultimate Fighter winner
yeah,
ever.
yeah. And he also was the last pick.
Yeah, and the last. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he came
yeah.
out a winner.
No one thought he was going to win. Even, well, it's funny, I've talked to Kelvin about it. He says, dude, I didn't even think I was going to win. I just thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to possibly get a contract, and I won the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Living on his mom's couch in Yuma, Arizona,
Yeah.
which is a dust bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it makes Saratoga Springs look like heaven.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you come with me sometime to Saratoga. I'll
Yeah.
introduce you some places. It's a fun time.
All right.
It's one of those small
I've
towns.
never
but-
cow tipped, so I'm going to take you up on that offer.
We got a game called Cow Pie Bingo that you would love.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know.
I don't know who told you I can play with cow pie, but I definitely can. Up one. A horse apple, whatever you want to call it. It's good stuff,
Oh
man.
my
Pitchfork,
God.
Yeah. So then you're here at Kings, you're doing your thing, you take fights here in California, you end up at Cabrini first.
I was at King's first, and I pretty much within the first week signed up at King's and Colbrino's within the first week, so I paid tuition at both gyms.
Whoa. What,
Yeah.
you loaded on a...
I hustle for my money.
No
and
joke.
I've been this way my whole life, where like I'm paycheck to paycheck, and I always make it, and I always make my ends meet, and stay debt free. And
Good.
That's just how I am.
That's actually smart. That's
Even
better
when
than
I was
most
going
people.
to school, I would pay in full.
Yeah.
'Cause it was weird. I wouldn't qualify for financial aid. They said, "Oh, your parents make too much money." I go, "Yeah, but they ain't gonna give that to me." So
Yeah, what's that got to do with me?
exactly. But I didn't care, so I worked full time and I went to school and I did all that. And I was training too. I was in school, so it was crazy.
Yeah, that's determination, man.
And then teachers
Smart.
asked me, "When's your plan to graduate?" I go, "Whenever I can afford to."
Yeah. Well spoken.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. So what's the first promotion you fought for out here in California?
CFFC actually. I
Okay.
took the fight on 12 hours notice. I just couldn't find a fight for the life of me because no one knew who I was.
Okay.
And so they said, "Hey, we're looking for a last minute spot," and it was actually in front of Dana White. It
Wow.
was an amateur fight, and CFFC was their first show on the West Coast. The actual I was on East Coast, and I remember this because I'm from there, and said, "Oh, I've always wanted to fight on their show." And I went the distance with this dude. I lost because I had such a drastic weight cut. I didn't recover in time.
Sure.
And it was a good fight, though. It was a really good fight. But yeah, that was the first one, and then I've been working with Heather with Sparstar ever since, though, because she's been really good to me.
How'd she find you?
I found her.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
You went hunting.
Exactly. I was talking to some of the guys, and they said, add Heather Leanne on Facebook, message her, and she'll take care of you. And I've never had a problem with finding a fight with her. Other matchmakers, they've struggled with me, or like they just, my guess is they don't want to find the fight because they don't know if I'm going to make them a ton of money.
Sure.
But
That is-
Heather has always come through with me every single time.
That's cool of her because, yeah, sometimes, there is that part of it. It's a business.
Yeah.
We all want to see exciting matches, and that's what we all hope for. But there's the business side of it. As a matchmaker, there's other things they do have to worry about, such as ticket sales.
I wonder how that goes for like amateur fighting though.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Still got to
like,
sell tickets, man.
But at the same time, it's like these guys, like, they don't know how to make, like, if you don't provide fights for them, how are they going to have the experience to, like, gain and then have these,
I think people get
amazing
left
success-
behind. We see it all the time,
Yeah.
right? There's talent that doesn't necessarily get noticed.
Back home, like some of the promotions there, because they didn't have to pay any dues to the state,
Yeah.
they would tell me, like one of the promoters said to me, yeah, we only made like $2,000 this show. I'm just like, how are you making anything off
Yeah.
of
How do you
this?
make ends meet?
Yeah. And that's just crazy to me. I know we're a small farm town and all that, but dear God, like you just rented out this huge facility.
That
And
was
I was,
probably-
I don't think it's any different anywhere in the world. I think
Yeah.
the fight game is a tough venue to make
Yeah.
money. So if you're not passionate and love it,
yeah.
as we talk to people, it may not be the beautiful ending to the production that we all think happens. They're putting it out there and they want the best thing to happen, but you're not necessarily getting rich off it.
Yeah. And I tell people, like, if I got into this for the money, like, I'm doing it all wrong. I never expected to even be fighting. When I first started training, I just wanted to do it for fun.
If there was somewhere in the business there was money, I would have hunted it out by
Yeah,
now.
I-
So
yeah,
you
you
do
and
it
me
because
both.
we love it in every angle, from
You even
every
look at,
position.
like, the top fighters in the world, like aside from certain exceptions, a lot of them aren't making millions.
No, it's not like boxing, right?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Like I think there's only Ronda Rousey got paid $3 million for her last fight,
Sure.
and
And that's just for the fight. We know she makes excess for sponsorships
Oh, yeah,
and
other
everything else,
things,
right?
I'm
smart
sure.
to do it.
Right?
I'm
But
completely.
then how do they
sure.
do that with Reebok now? So they don't get it, right?
Exactly.
Why would they do that? That blows me away.
That's because the UFC is making money off of Reebok, but it cuts the fighters out of that
yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah. So you just fight just because you love it.
Exactly. And honestly, if
And you get to be in the UFC. You
I
get to
guess
be
so.
known as a UFC fighter.
Got it.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Top of the food chain
I
at the
love
moment.
what I do though, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So
Yeah.
as far as the struggle, I've been doing that my whole life. It's no different for me. So I don't care. I decided a long time ago that I would never let money be the thing to take over for me.
Right on. It's the
Smart.
way to be, yeah.
Very smart.
Absolutely. You're never going to get to the things that you really
You'll
want.
never be happy.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
We talked about this
Never
in the last
enough,
show.
yeah.
Like even people that
'Cause
have
we still have no
tons
money.
of money. Anthony Bourdain.
Exactly.
We're talking about it every
Kate
show.
Spade, it doesn't make you. It just goes to show
That's
that
right.
it does not.
You know what happens is
Make-
people who make a lot of money, they fear out on opportunities to make more money.
Yeah.
It's not so much like they're set. Like me, I'm always just I always just need it so that way I can eat the next day.
Yeah.
But there's other people where they fear out on opportunities to make more money for what reason?
That's why I
So,
stay close to Robert. He figures that stuff out. Our producer.
Yeah.
He's over there producing stuff right now. I don't know
He's
exactly
producing
what.
tacos
Yes.
for his own self.
He's producing speakers,
hey, I
so
don't
the
gotta
show will
cut
get
weight
better.
right now. So
It's good.
So
I love it.
It's
It's coming up on
halftime.
8:30, right? Are we getting to halftime
Yeah.
near the technique of the week? We're going to do
We're gonna
something
come
in the
over.
mini dojo with Mr. Donald Walton. I guess I am the guinea pig of the week because no one else is wearing shorts.
I promise I'll be gentle.
That's all right. It's all good.
he likes it rough.
You want to
so-
throw an old man around, feel free. So we'll do our thing over there. We're going to segue into the next room. Are we ready for that, Producer JP? And if you haven't heard, like us, subscribe to us, and share the link with your friends. Jim Crashers. Take over, Maria.
Conchita bonita, fresita. I don't know any other ones that rhyme.
So, Jessica, how was your weekend? How did you enjoy Stars, huh? Can you please talk into the mic, sweetheart?
It was
Thank you.
really cool. She says it all gently and soft. It's very cool.
Yes, as Dondo would say, shout out to Tony Padilla and Michael Gross, because they hooked it up. So, oh, and Adam Woods too. If it wasn't for Adam Woods, you probably wouldn't gotten in. You probably would
Really?
have just. Yeah, he hooked it up. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
And Fangirl MMA.
Oh yeah, and Fangirl MMA. Yeah.
Gabriel and I'll call him T because I don't remember what his full
Oh, the nice gentleman in the pink shirt,
red shirt.
red shirt. Okay. Yes, and Gabriel. That's right. Shout out to them for sure. Cool.
Cool, man. Cool.
All right, let's go over to the next room.
They're not ready. I needed to have a snack.
Dude, I'm tired.
What time do you have to go to work at?
I have to be there at 6:30.
That's
okay. I'll talk about work. It sucks.
Yeah.
All work sucks.
This week I've been covering classes, so 4 a.m. classes. So,
We're at.
FFTC.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh yeah, plug your classes. Yeah, what's up?
I don't teach those ones all the time. Come check me out at 4 p.m. at Fitness and Fun Transformation Center. No, but I've been covering classes at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
And, yeah.
All right, we'll shoot it off to Robert Big Cheeks Simerson.
We're cool. All right.
Am I talking?
All right. Yeah, you can talk all you want. I got Donald Walton here from Kings MMA and Cobrina out in LA. He's trained at other places, recently fought in Spar Stars. My man, Soldier's son.
There's a center line here. When he throws it, I'm going to move to the side and catch it. He throws the kick, I move. I'm here now. His big thing is he's going to start trying to drop weight on it. That's fine by me. I'm going to step back. I put his leg in between mine, and I'm gable gripping. I keep my head tight. I can't just go over the single yet. I'm going to move to the side. I force him to hop. 1, 2. As he's hopping, I step back now. After I do that, I bow. I come here now. I'm starting to look for the knee slice pass. Most likely I end up in half guard. As long as I hug the head, I'm okay.
Cool, man. Want to do it one more time?
Yep.
Let's do it one more time for the people at
Okay.
home. They know it's coming. So, wow.
Boom. Here he starts foot weight.
Yep.
Put him between my legs. 1, 2, bow. And then I start my slice. And if I can, I get my side control.
That's it. My man Donald. Check him out. He's on Instagram at.
Don, the soldier son Walton.
Check him out. We're going to go finish the show. Thank you for tuning in to Gym Crashers. Thank you for that technique of the week. Good stuff.
First things.
That was cool.
So,
Tell us when we're back live.
we are.
So we're back, and that was technique of the week. And again, a single leg
Tell us
brought
about
on by a roundhouse kick, I would say,
Yeah.
to the ribs.
Kind of a mixture of striking to the tie clinch into a wrestling type situation.
Pretty cool, man. I dig it. I learned something new, and I like the way you put it together. Got the leg between the legs. Shuck them down. I love that. Very cool.
Worked like a charm in the fight over Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you did that. You brought it back to my memory that he was on the ground. You knocked him down that same way, brought him down with that single leg.
Oh, yeah. It works beautifully. That was
Very
my whole
cool.
strategy.
So what about you as a fighter? Where are your strengths?
For me, I feel very strong in terms of my grappling. I'm very comfortable standing as well, but I feel as though my strong suit is the grappling, mostly because I wrestled in high school. And then as a wrestler, I was looking for jiu-jitsu at first, and it just kind of all tied in together. And I'm very comfortable there because you don't get hit in the face a lot.
Yeah.
Then I also started boxing as well, and I feel comfortable there just because I knew I had to understand the striking game. Otherwise, what are you going to do?
Was the transition from wrestling to jiu-jitsu a little funky at first for you?
It
or-
was weird because I would blast double, and be like, yeah, I got the takedown. I'm like, and I'm tapping every time.
What about if you got put on your back?
That was definitely weird because wrestlers, we have certain habits where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
belly down, not get pinned, and then I would turn over, and that's like a big no-no in the jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah.
So that took a very long time for me to get. I'm incredibly comfortable now with being on my back and playing the
Okay.
guard, but I would prefer to have the top position if I can. Though.
Of course.
So smart.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you, Maria? Got any questions for Don? You guys come from, back east for at least a short time period. You're over there in Maine, a little bit north of him.
No, I
Didn't cross paths with any of the trainers that he was with or any of the
No.
promotions?
But no, I wanted to see if he ever fought in Maine or for and he didn't.
I don't
so.
even know if they have any promotions out there, do they?
NEF, New
okay.
England Fights.
Oh, yeah, I know that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, almost in Massachusetts. That would have been a
Yeah,
New
yeah.
England fight of some
Yeah.
sort.
New England Fights. Yeah, that's the
Sort
one
of
I fought
New
for out there.
England
Yeah.
area-ish.
Ish.
New England.
Yes.
I think, Maine is part of New England.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Absolutely. Nothing like that. Never cross paths. Usually, sometimes because there's only so many fighters up in Maine. So
Well,
I
yeah,
figured.
and it's very slim pickings out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought, well, maybe he did.
Yeah, that out where I'm from, that a lot of fighters there never leave. A lot of people honestly don't leave. Like they're just too scared to.
So it's been, 2 years since you've been out here?
In October will be 2 years, which is
Ooh,
crazy.
so it's like a year and a half,
It feels
really.
like it's only been a few months to me.
So was it
Sipping.
like a culture shock when you first moved out here?
Honestly, yeah. So I mean,
You're like, brown people, what the hell is that?
yes, I was literally just about to talk about that. So Saratoga,
Are you First Nation?
Saratoga is 97% white,
Uh-huh.
and like when you look at the census, it doesn't even have like other races; it just says other because it's just such a large percentage.
Sure,
but-
it's like two other dudes.
yeah,
And they're on the reservation.
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. And so like moving out here, honestly, I wasn't so much like seeing other people of color, but more so just learning about the different cultures and stuff
There's
too.
so
but-
many cultures.
Yeah,
Like, so many.
and especially at Kings, where like everybody's speaking
Oh,
Portuguese.
yeah, it's
or
heavy.
We got some other guys speaking French or Russian or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm one of the few people that actually speaks nothing but English, and then they'll say something to me. I'm like, I maybe know like 5 words. Like,
You're like,
Do
in-
people seek out kings from all over the world? Is
all
that something
the
that's
time.
done?
All the time. We've got a lot of fighters from Colombia and Mexico and Brazil, and even a splash of Russians here and there. We even got one guy. I don't know if you know Giga Chikadze.
I never heard of him, but I,
He
remem-
used
I would
to-
remember
Okay,
that
yeah,
name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was number
He's from
one.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Georgia.
yeah, yeah.
Georgia.
Sorry,
Georgia.
Now I remember the guy.
Don't say that to him.
Well, he's no turkey.
I know.
Yeah. He just fought for the Contender Series literally on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he used to be the number 1 ranked featherweight in Glory Kickboxing.
Yeah.
But,
I
Oh,
remember,
wow.
yeah.
Giga. I don't know how I can confuse the two.
Yeah, we get some people out from that area as well, and so
Right
it's
on.
just crazy. It's just a huge melting pot of people.
Yeah.
And with the pro classes, there's a lot more people from different parts of the world as opposed to like our beginner classes, which is every gym should have that.
Sure.
We have people that run those as well, and it's just so interesting though. And then at Cobrina's, especially during like IBJJF Worlds. Forget about it. There's so many Brazilians in the room.
sure.
So the first time I visited Cobrina's when I came, it was right before the Pan Ams.
Okay.
And they're having the camp. And I'm sitting there all quiet, and then I said something, and somebody looks at me and goes, "You have a really clear accent." I look at them and I go, "Do you think I'm Brazilian?" And I'm like, and that's when I learned, I'm like, okay, there's some German-looking guys apparently in some parts of Brazil.
A whole
which
lot of them,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had no idea. at the
Italians,
time.
too.
Yeah, I literally had no idea. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, cool. At first I'm like, I've been in California for a few days. I didn't think I got that
This
tan.
tan's starting to look pretty nice.
There was this big war in the 40s, and when it was over, a lot of them went down south.
Yeah.
That's how they ended
Big war.
Stupid.
They ran from trial and ended up in South America. That's how that all happened.
Nice. I mean, what was like the first, I guess, new thing that you at least from the East Coast? Because it okay. So I was out in the East Coast like many moons ago, and at that time, I don't know. I was just like, what the fuck. So just real quick side story.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Because I was like,
This is Miguel's worldview, by the way.
yeah, right. Because I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get a burrito,
Yeah.
and this was 2003, 4.
Okay.
Before
And
they
this
had
is in
burritos.
Starting with the burrito. This is-
Connecticut, right? And for the life of me, there's no Mexican food. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next closest thing I found was a Dominican joint. And
Just
I'm like, what can I
nothing
get
close.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
where can I get a burrito? And they're like, Taco Bell. I'm like, no, like a real burrito. And they're like, it's not burritos out here. They're
Yeah,
like, Are
dude.
you guys from Texas or something? I'm like, ew, no. And they're like, where you
Ew.
guys from? I'm like,
He
yeah.
goes,
I'm like,
ew.
I'm from California, dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh. And they're
Honestly,
like,
my favorite thing out here is the food more than anything. If I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie, like straight up, because like especially when I go home, like I just feel sick after all because everything's just got dairy in it of some sort. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. But like I'll feel sick when I go home for the first few days.
So what are you pounding while you're here? What do you love?
Oh man, honestly, I
Street
love
tacos?
My favorite 2 things, and my girlfriend, her name is Corey. My best friend, his name is Corey as
Whoa.
well. Yeah, this gets
That's keeping it close to home.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah. Anyway, so me and my best friend Corey, we'll go out on bro dates getting all you can eat sushi and Korean barbecue together.
You can't find that in
Yes.
upstate New York,
No,
can you?
I took my mom to Korean barbecue, so my mom's like terrified of anything that's
Oh, yeah.
foreign. Like, it's just.
She's like, didn't we have a war with them?
yeah, and so like I said to her,
Eat
I'm like,
their food?
Trying to get them out. Eating their food.
Isn't
I said to her, I'm like,
that
"We're
guy
gonna
with the
go
funny
Korean
haircut?
barbecue." I described it. You sit down, you cook the food there, and she goes, "Well, that just sounds absolutely ridiculous to me." And this just
Koreans
sounds
don't cook for
awful. And then we do. She's like, "This is wonderful. Why don't we have this here?" I'm like, "I have no idea, Mom."
Well, Miguel still says that about Korean barbecue.
Yeah. And for the life of me, I can't get her to eat sushi. It's weird.
Really?
My dad would eat
They
everything.
don't cook
under
the
sun.
food there?
It's just
Sushi's
crazy
so
for her.
good.
Well, she grew up where like it was mostly meat and potatoes. She grew up. She
Yeah.
was one of 18 kids, so they just made whatever they could in
Yeah,
bulk
yeah,
and
yeah.
fed them all.
There's a farm, right?
Exactly.
Back in the day.
they had nothing.
And
to,
they cooked their food.
Beans.
So
yeah,
sushi's
they
foreign.
had
to
a
her.
lot of TVs.
Potato.
you know.
Not refried beans, bacon.
No.
Yeah.
Real
There's
beans.
sugar and ham and bacon in those beans.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what you like, Korean food, sushi.
And honestly, the weirder the food is, the more I want it.
Right on.
Like straight up, if there's a place here that was
Word.
serving like rat burgers, I would go do it.
There probably are, and
Yeah.
we probably eat them, but they just don't advertise it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Rat
Fries
dropping
so
burgers, you know?
delicious.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things.
What's your
to do.
favorite thing?
to eat?
Yeah.
Out here?
Yeah, out here, since you're from Albuquerque or Santa Fe, I don't remember which.
Dang, I don't know.
You don't eat so many chilies.
No, I like their chilies, though. They're
Well,
bomb.
New Mexico has really bomb chili.
Bomb chili, and I
August
dig
is a
that.
chili-
You don't get the
chili,
same kind of
I
chili.
want to
out
do
here.
that chili
St.
fest
August
out
is
there.
their chili fest.
She
Yeah.
knows. That's her
August,
her
right?
party. She
Uh,
has a special
It's
dress
in the
just
summer.
for that.
It's a wine and chili. I think it's
I thought
yeah,
it was August.
September.
We got to
September.
roll out
I know.
to the
Gotta bring her
Rios
to the time
family.
for chili hat.
We should go
Right.
for the fiestas.
She's
Let's
gonna
do
go
it.
It's time for chili.
Donald's like, hey, what happened? What happened to me?
I'm totally down. Like, I'm totally down for all of this.
Good.
So
We're gonna
it's
get
good.
we're gonna get an RV and we're going
Real
to Chili
chili.
Fest.
New Mexico?
Yes, sir.
I'm just listening to all my options.
Yeah.
I'm still down for a bit of an adventure.
What happened to the old Mexico?
Still trying to deal with them.
Wait a minute, what?
I will say when I was in Mexico, I can't eat Mexican food in like upstate New York ever since then. So
Of course
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
You're
of
like,
course, yeah,
this
is-
yeah, sure, dude.
That's
this is
what
not
you have.
real.
Yeah.
So, what's the favorite thing since you got here?
oh man, honestly,
It's hard to pick.
I know it
What's
depends
the
on
go-to?
What, like me and my girlfriend, we love going to Bonsai Bowl. Getting
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
Kai Bowl. I did get her into sushi recently too, honestly, and ramen places. I've been exploring
hell
a
yeah.
few. of
So
those.
bomb.
So I've been exploring a few Japanese ramen places. lately.
Shinsengumi on Brookhurst?
Yes, I just went
It's
to
the
that
best.
one the other day for the
Robert
first time.
actually owns some shares in that company, if you can tell by looking at him. He's going to kill me. Just means you represent ramen well. No offense.
What the hell? Why doesn't he never bring any in then?
Because he eats it.
Robert.
He doesn't
come on.
share. Right?
We're,
Robert.
we're
I'm
over
just
here
playing
getting
with
all
him.
gassed up on tacos.
Well, we do gas this place out quite often. That's one thing we're good at. And what is your
We
go-to?
love you, Robert.
Seriously, what do you like go-to for fun for eating? I know you eat all kind of garbage at home, Oreos for breakfast and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but-
because you're like a
'cause they're
veggie,
vegan.
So
Yeah.
No,
That's
I'm
plant
not
food.
a vegan, but
well, plant food. What are you eating?
King Taco.
King Taco's what he loves to go to at 2 a.m. Not just because it's on the way home from L.A., but producer JP enlighten us. Oh, he's a
he
snacker.
lives on snack
You're a
food.
snacker.
Whatever.
But restaurant. We're talking
Oh,
restaurant.
so
So
he's,
King
he's a
Taco's
grazer. Is that? It's like a cow. Is
He
that?
eats a lot of cheese. I know that.
King Taco.
Are you
King
backed
Taco's
up
it.
a
No,
lot?
I do love
from
King
all
Taco.
the dairy.
That's the goods. Yeah, I like that too.
Do they have a non-meat option?
No, they
No,
got
if it's fancy, it's still a hole in the wall.
they got
place.
bean and
You ever
cheese
been down
burritos.
Tepeyac?
Oh, Tepeyac
No.
the
In,
place.
Boyle
We're
Heights?
bringing you.
Negative.
Oh, dude.
Is it good?
There's nothing better, but I can. Yeah, you can put 10
Don't-
pounds on.
Okay,
quick.
don't eat
We're going,
for 4
Donald.
days
We're
after your
going.
fight, and then we go.
We eat
Okay.
the ass end of a cow wrapped in a tortilla there, and it tastes killer.
Sounds
Oh my
delicious.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I eat normally, So, yeah, I'm one of those
Ass.
that eat everything. But if it was a go-to right now, it's with this man right here, my ramen friend over there, the Kung Fu Panda, Shik Du Rak, the Korean barbecue over on Brookhurst or Gilbert and Garden Grove Boulevard. We tore it up. What was that hot bacon stuff? Garlic,
Hot bacon.
garlic chip kimchi, pork butt, something or other turned into bacon. It was killer.
They actually just opened up a ramen place right next door to King's as well, and I have yet to.
Oh, they did, yeah, right in the little parking lot
Huntington
there.
Ramen or
Yeah.
whatever.
Don't trust that. That sounds very Americanized.
I know. That's the thing that's sketching me out.
Yeah.
But one time my buddy looked at me, and it was right after practice. He handed me money. He goes, "Hey, I play snowboard. Am I going and get it?" I go, "Sure." Didn't get changed. I was wearing my short, like tie shorts.
Your volley tudos.
Yeah, pretty much. And I walk in
Miguel
all
wears those.
sweaty, and I'm standing there, and after a while, like, people are staring at me, like, what's their problem? And I look, I'm like, oh, yeah, I got a lot of legs showing right now, don't I?
There's actually a cool place right down the street, and this
Yeah.
is how good it is. They have they serve their water, right? Just like a cup of water. And
Serve water at a restaurant?
And
That's
what
just
do you call
crazy.
it? Yeah. Anyways, you pour the water, right?
Hey, where do they
and
serve
there's
it in? I
shit
didn't hear that.
floating in it, so that's how you know it's good.
Whoa.
I got a glass of water. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
He gauges his shit different than I do. What is the
yeah.
place called? Go
Yeah,
Men?
John no eats.
Ramen.
John no
ramen.
eats Band-Aids.
Yes.
Band-Aids.
I do eat Band-Aids inside my spring rolls. Just
He
let it be
doesn't
known.
discriminate.
The team went out right before CXF out in Burbank, and
I
we were
ordered
going to have
spring
sushi.
rolls.
Yes, we were going to have sushi, but the sushi place was more fast food sushi, so we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
down with that. We want real sushi. So the Thai place next door looked very appetizing to me and the ramen eating man over there. And we invited everybody, and Miguel and Jessica, I think we were with Maria
Yeah.
already. And I said, "What do you want?" Because I had ordered,
Yeah.
the lion's share of the food because I like everything, right? And I already started eating, and she goes, "I want spring rolls." Like, I don't even know if they have spring rolls in Thailand, but order them. So they come and they looked wonderful, and I don't even know if she
They were
got one.
good.
So
We
she
were all
got one.
snacking on them.
Well, we all except for Miguel, who doesn't eat foreign foods.
I was just like,
Well, you came after the Band-Aid,
He's like
right?
he's from
No, I
upstate
was
New York.
there.
He doesn't
Oh,
like anything.
right.
I looked at it and I was like, "That what is
We
that?"
got one sushi restaurant in my town. I went to it last time I visited. I took one bite, and I'm like, I can't do this.
This isn't sushi.
It just, and I'm thinking to myself, like, where do they even get, like, the fish?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly. It's
I'm
not
like,
fresh.
Yeah.
You're getting trout sushi.
How do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I feel when I eat sushi in New Mexico? I'm
Yeah.
like, we're in the missile.
They got Hatch
desert.
chilies in New Mexico or in
It's
sushi.
one of them, fishbowl fed ones.
So I ate the spring roll and I thought there was cardboard in it. I don't know why it would be cardboard, but I took it out of my mouth, put it on my plate, and continued eating because I'm an eater.
Yeah.
And as she continued, my friend here, Maria, watches me continue to eat like a horse. Goes, "That's not a cardboard, that's a Band-Aid." Oh my God,
I
it is a
pick it up
Band-Aid.
and I'm like,
wait, there was legit a Band-Aid.
there was a
And I kept
freaking
eating.
Band-Aid in his spring roll.
Oh
Like
my-
he snacked on that and got a little.
And then I go-
puked. Oh my
I
God.
said, I'm cool if you guys are. They're all, no, we're not cool. I go, well, then we got to go.
And then I even went as far as I bet you that spring roll is rolled in a condom. That's what that is.
Very well could have been. I chewed right
It
through
was.
it.
It was.
I'm a Trojan chewing mule.
They were like, "Can we comp your food or your
No,
one
no,
dish?"
no.
We're like,
You're
we're
comping the
leaving."
I go,
We're outta
I
here.
whisper to them, get out of here. I'll meet you outside. We're leaving. There was a Band-Aid in my spring roll.
That's just.
All the other people are looking.
I let it be known. But I would have ate anyway, so it was good food. It was really good. It just fell off. I'm sure it wasn't on
sad 'cause
purpose.
The green beans were so
It
bomb.
was
then.
killer.
I was like, damn it.
God.
Yeah, watch
Too
it.
bad I feel like barfing.
It looks
right
like
now.
cardboard. It's not.
It's usually a Band-Aid.
That's right.
So what's on the future agenda for you?
Right now, I'm looking into. My coaches and I are trying to look into getting a fight in July out at the OC Fairgrounds. I
Yeah,
believe it's,
OC
one of
Fight
Roy
Club.
Engelbrook's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who were the guys that were out there with you at Spar Stars this weekend? Who were the coaches that actually attended?
So I had to do it last minute because my usual cornerman had, because Giga was fighting in Vegas, so a bunch of the team went there to help him out.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
this time it was my friend Paulo, who trains with us as well, and he's actually got over 30 Muay Thai fights. And my buddy Twan, I don't remember Twan, he fought as well. He calls himself Twan, the Tamagotchi.
Oh
League.
Yeah, we've seen him
yeah.
fight.
Yeah, he fought that same night.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. I love him.
Nice.
And he's super quiet to everybody, but for whatever reason, me and him talk. So
That's cool.
yeah, but it was really awesome to have just really good friends there as well. But usually I have Johnny Merck, who is one of my normal cornermen, and my buddy Corey usually corner me as well. So
Right on.
Okay.
it's really
Nice.
fun.
Cool. For sure.
What are you guys doing outside of training? Just training, just focus on MMA? You do other stuff?
You mean in terms of my career? Or
Just life in
Hobbies.
general.
Hobbies.
Career,
Hobbies, like you.
anything. You name it. What's your career? What are you doing?
So I work at a place called House of Power. It's
Okay.
in Westminster. It's run by it's owned by Casey Garrison. He's world's strongest man.
Okay.
And
Nice.
so my buddy Johnny was working there, and he offered me a job. I took it. So I'm one of the personal trainers there. I've got a few
Okay.
clients. Always looking for some more in case
Where's
someone's
it at?
listening. It's in Westminster, right across from the Westminster Mall.
Whoa.
On Industry Way.
I know where that
Nice.
is,
Oh,
and
nice.
there's like a little surfboard shop in there, and
Like-
Foam Easy, and those guys are
you
in
see
there.
where like the train station shop is. You go
Yeah.
past that towards the end of the cul-de-sac, and we're right there. It
I
looks
know
like a
exactly.
warehouse.
There's an Elks Club back there. You can get
Yeah,
cheap
yeah.
drinks on a Wednesday night for $2.
Yeah, it's a great facility. We've
Yeah.
got a little matted area with bags and stuff hanging. We've also a lot of people. I only got 1 or 2 clients that I like teach Muay Thai to, and
Yeah.
everybody else just wants to lift and look good naked.
Sure.
I can totally help you with that. That's
yeah.
not a problem at all.
That's cool.
So it's a very interesting facility though, because like they don't do any contracts. Anytime you want to be done, you're done. Like it's crazy. Just they don't do any of
It's
the
cut and
BS that a
dry,
lot of gyms
like
are.
black and white.
It needs to be that
cool.
way.
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Right?
And a lot of my clients, I tell them, I go, dude, we don't even got to show up at normal gym hours. Like, you want to work out at 2 in the morning? I got the key. Like, I mean, I'm going to charge you extra if you make me get up at 2 in the
Hell
morning.
yeah.
But, you know.
There's no ramen open up after that, so you got to get
Exactly.
it done.
Exactly. But I'll do it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
like
anything
it.
for $1.
Okay, so that's what you do for career. What are you doing for fun?
For fun, honestly, I just love going on adventures, little trips here and there, like day trips. My favorite thing to do, honestly, is late at night go to the beach.
Right on.
That's
Just
awesome.
nice beach walks. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things out here because you don't get that back where I'm from.
Yeah, anything weird happening on the beach since you're out there at 2 a.m.?
Oh, God.
People humping on the beach?
I personally
see me
have
out there.
encountered anything.
That's what I do.
Running butt naked on the
That's
The
true.
weirdest thing I ever saw was
With
a
mushrooms in
boat
my
washed
system.
ashore, like a big sailboat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That won't be Dondo. I had the Coast Guard tow me in, thank you.
Yeah, and to this day, I don't know what happened, but like it was surrounded by police tape for a few days.
Well, that's
and
because
then
it came
was-
from Mexico and it was
Yeah.
full of cocaine.
I'm looking at it, I'm like,
And Mexicans.
I tried Googling that stuff, but I'm just like, nothing came up in police reports, so I'm like, I guess just random boat washed ashore? Is that what happened?
That's actually been happening in the news right now. There's been 2. So in Mexico, when you go fishing, they take you on a panga.
Yeah.
So it's an elongated boat with a small motor on the back, and you fish off the side.
Yeah.
Not like the sport fishing boats that are here.
Yeah.
So anywhere on the coast of Baja, Sea Cortez, Pacific, whatever it may be, you take a panga. Well, now they're loaded with people because the borders are all clogged up
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Guatemalans, Nicaraguans, and Hondurans, and everybody coming from Central America. So they're taking pangas to Laguna Beach, parking them, and then running up the hills, and they're getting away. You see it on Channel 4 News. There's another panga. Nobody's in it. I'm like, I'm going to call my son. Go get the panga and drive it home. It doesn't have any serial number. Let's take it fishing. You know what I mean?
brilliant.
See,
Bring the truck.
I'm terrified of the water, especially with the ocean.
Really?
Really?
You just walk along the shoreline? And,
Yeah, I'll walk along. I enjoy it. Sometimes I might dip my toe a little
Oh,
bit.
me. I got to jump in.
Oh man, my dad and I were both the same way. We were never swimmers. We had a swimming pool growing up. I hardly ever used it.
Wow.
What?
I'm not a good swimmer.
That's crazy.
Like, so it's just, I got a mean doggy paddle. That's about it.
I got a 2-year-old grandson I'm going to show you swimming over the weekend already.
He's probably already
Going
better
for
swimmer
it,
than me.
dunking his head, just going for it. Doesn't
That's
care.
how my daughter is.
He
She's
just doesn't
like,
care.
Loves to be in the water.
Yeah, he just
That,
thinks
that and I'm
he's
scared of
made
sharks,
for it.
but that's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
other
that
subject.
happens too.
Been
Oh.
to Tijuana yet?
Nope.
Oh, dude.
Oh, there's your adventure. We're going to
Yeah,
go.
That's a day trip.
We do a show
That's
called
a
Gym
4-day.
Crashers. We're Gym Crashers live right now, but we go out and we visit other gyms, academies, dojos, and train with people. So there's a BJJ hostel in Tijuana. We're coming to visit you, and we're bringing good friend Donald
I'm
over
totally
the border.
down,
Once he gets some...
totally
my
My passport's still good.
Oh,
too
you
right
got
now,
one. That's
so-
good
Yeah,
because
it's
you
actually-
invaded Canada. I was going to make sure you can invade Mexico.
Last time I was in Mexico, when I crossed the border, it was my 18th birthday.
Oh, so you've been.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where was that?
We went to Monterrey. We landed.
Oh, well, yeah,
we
yeah.
drove through Laredo, which was.
Oh, dude, TJ's
interesting.
nothing then.
Yeah, Laredo was.
Yeah, those towns are
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
And then it took us about a half hour to get into the country. Like no one even stopped us.
Sure.
And then when we
No one's going to
left,
stop you
that's-
getting into Mexico.
Yeah.
No one invades Mexico.
Exactly. Like, leaving it took like 6 hours, and here the sketch part was one of the people in our group had the same name and birth date as a missing person,
Oh, wow.
and so they stop all of us, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, like I'm like a little bit smaller than I am
So
now.
screwed.
I'm just like, I'm gonna
Not-
be sold
not quite
for
as well
cigarettes,
trained.
and Mexican prison.
yeah.
Try looking like me coming back from there. It's even worse than having a duplicate name.
And they ink us all out, and they're interviewing us, and the whole time I'm thinking, this is like that. I watched the episode of Locked Up Abroad before I left,
Yeah.
and I'm just thinking like, oh, this is
I
it.
watched that movie Sicario. I see what happens.
And one of the descriptions of the missing person was a scar on her arm, and she had the scar on her arm from something else. But I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to prison. And then they look at it, and they're just like, they check the dental records, like, all right, you guys are going. Like, oh my god, that was
Wow, they were
scary.
as far as checking dental records, huh?
Yeah, they apparently had that. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm okay now.
Anything you have on file, I guess. In today's world, everything's at your fingertips. So
Yeah, but
anything
that-
that's
That's
in the
crazy.
records.
Yeah,
right?
that's the story of my
Might never go to
18th
that
birthday, though.
dentist again.
Yeah. Tattoos, you name it. They ask, you get arrested. You got any tattoos? I'm all, nope. Matter of fact, I don't. I don't tell them anything that can identify me.
Yeah.
I know. Well,
Right?
I run, so.
Well, I try to run. I'm not as fast as you are. Thank you.
Listen, running's
It's
painful.
more like a fast waddle.
That's right. Like a penguin. You know it. But that's cool, man. I like that you take long walks on the beach. Very romantic.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So-
sure Corey likes that.
Oh.
Corey,
What do
the
you
girlfriend, not
guys-
Corey, the best friend.
I'll let you decide which one. It's real interesting when I get the two of them in a room together.
Whoa.
Oh,
That was
Wow,
technical. No, I'm just gonna let that ride and see what the audience
Yeah.
thinks.
Let's go
See you
there.
next week, everybody.
Just kidding.
It's a whole other show.
Do you? Okay, so those lifeguard stations.
Yeah. I've gotten in there and took
I
care
was
of
gonna
it.
say, like, that's always been kind of a thing that I've wanted to do since I've moved here.
I could name off a few for you.
That are like totally like you wouldn't get in trouble.
Well,
I'm sure if you go at like 9 o'clock at night, there's
No, like I mean, like if you're like,
If you're
let's
really
say, let's just
inquiring,
say
the
we're
police-
for someone else.
They ride
hopefully they're not
ATVs.
if we're
listening.
like,
They ride ATVs at approximately 9:45 to 10 p.m. to kick people off the beach.
so let's say
Then
we're
they
in
go back to
Hermosa
this-
and we're drinking.
I don't go to
and then
Hermosa,
we
that's in
well,
LA.
I'm just playing.
Okay.
You know, pretend with me for a second. And then you walk out there and
Do it.
yeah.
You can do it anytime. Everybody's
Yeah,
doing
but, like, what time?
Everybody's doing it.
What-
Just
After the beach closes.
don't do it
When
at
does
10
it
o'clock.
close?
10
10
o'clock. I was just
Oh.
trying to tell you, fool.
Oh,
you
sorry.
talk so much. I'm messing with you. 10 o'clock. They start cruising the beach. They comb it. They get everybody off of it. Then around 11, then they're eating donuts, right? And sipping coffee, and they do a little patrol here and there, but they
So
won't
those
find
things
you.
aren't like with alarms or anything.
The sand doesn't have an alarm on it, no. And you
No,
mess
I'm
You
saying-
can't get
no,
inside
I'm
it because
saying
they lock them.
You could go on the rooftop.
but you can go
though.
on there.
Oh, those are
You know,
some of
there's
them are
like-
open. I was going to tell you which ones are open in my neighborhood. I don't know about yours. There are some that are locked, and some they lock. No, some of them lock the ladder to get up to them, and they're a little bit taller than I can reach because I'm short. Donald could probably reach. He's
I
about
feel
5'8".
like I'm learning so much right now.
This is very interesting.
Or you just dig. You know what? You dig
My friend
yourself a nice
appreciates
little
this.
butt ditch in the sand. Just do it right there.
I feel like I should be taking notes from you, like straight up.
Probably.
But you got to watch the sand because once it gets in there, you're
I was
getting
about
torn
to
up.
say,
It's like
yeah.
sandpaper.
Yeah, I think I'd rather go to the roof.
Right. Even worse if you get in the water because it's about 58 degrees right now, and
And after all
everything
that
gets
chewed
tore
up
up.
in there already.
Yeah.
and
Get all
salt water
chafed.
in
That's
there.
right.
fangs.
That's to come out looking like ramen.
No,
Right?
thank you.
Ramen.
Nobody wants sand in their vagine.
No,
Thank you.
no. Take BJJ to protect your vajayjay. Right? That should be our new motto.
Oh my god, I want that on a poster.
It's a good one. Somebody's gonna steal it
Please
now.
make a
Now that it's
t-shirt,
out there,
somebody.
right?
No, we make sure that like we said it first here, and they'll know. So if they take it, we'll just be like, nah, we got it on recording.
That's
you know?
our new self-defense class offered you by Maria Rios. Right?
Yes.
Heck yes.
I'll
I
totally
like
be
it.
the dummy for that class. So
Yeah. He'll be the triangle dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Do him all day long. Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. Girlfriend, not best friend.
I mean, he might get jealous too. So you know,
What's Corey up to? What does he do? Is he train?
yeah, he's one of the trainers there. He's one of the first people. So the interesting part about California, above all else, when I first moved out, so New York, when people are nice to you or when you're nice to someone, there's usually a catch.
Yeah, they
Out
want your
here,
wallet.
a lot of people are nice to you. Just be nice to you. And so Corey was one of the first people that like he took me under his wing. He's like my older brother.
Right on.
And he took really good care of me when I first moved out here. I had no friends. I didn't know anybody. And then I have one cousin that lives in Pasadena, and she moved here after I did. So, like, other than that, like, it's
Pretty
just,
brave.
Yeah. My whole family thought it was nuts because, like, they
You
all.
came by yourself.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
literally
wow.
just packed up everything. I actually drove all
Yeah.
the way here from New York.
Oh, right on.
That was a trip. in
Route
itself.
66. So took the 40 all the way across, right?
Yeah, that was a fun trip. Honestly, it was kind of scary driving through Colorado with some of those roads.
How
on
long
the
did it take you to get out here?
3
6 days.
Oh, 6 days. You took your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sweet.
You
time.
like to take a nap here and there.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Smart.
would do about like 9 hours a day, but like when I hit Colorado, I had such bad elevation sickness.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
I did too. I got clogged
Yeah.
up.
Well,
Talk
at
about
first-
not being able to poop. Took
I
me
just-
about 4 days, and I'm a 2-day-a-day regular guy.
my eyes like
or
started
2-time-a-day
watering,
regular
and
guy.
I'm like, am I getting a cold or something? I look at the sign that says 12,000 feet above sea level. I stop
Yeah.
off at a hotel, and the lady's like, "Oh, you got elevation sickness." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Yeah.
And they sell little cans of oxygen at
Yeah,
the
you
stores
need
that you
it.
can use.
Yep.
And so
They got 14ers there, 14,000-foot peaks, right?
Yeah.
And they got a few of them.
yeah,
We ain't got that in California. They got 14ers in Colorado.
it was crazy.
You're
I
gonna turn
will
blue,
say,
Miguel.
It was the most gorgeous part, and then there's a whole lot of nothing driving through the country, man. There's a whole lot of just cornfields, and that was
Yeah.
like, with little things here and there.
Isn't it amazing how overpopulated some places are, and yet there's so much wide open space?
Yeah.
You come to LA, and
Those
all these
places
people are
suck.
rushing to get to downtown. The rest of the fucking country's sleeping.
Yeah.
We can't even get to Miguel's house 8 miles away.
Yeah.
It's 'cause
Compared to me, like,
California's
I
the
go
freaking
home and I
tits,
can get
man.
anywhere I want within 5 minutes.
I love it.
Compared to
Here,
here,
you have
like-
to leave. You're driving, 10 miles away? You better leave like an hour and a half.
Exactly.
What's the big restaurant at home?
Back home, there's actually a place I used to work for. It's called Spring Street Deli and Pizzeria. That's probably one of the most popular ones, and not expensive at all. Great food.
Did you guys really invent buffalo wings in Buffalo?
That, to me, that's a question. Because when I went out to Buffalo, I tried the buffalo wings out there. No different, in my opinion.
No.
There's not a whole lot going on in Buffalo, in my opinion, but that's another subject in itself.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend of mine that runs a gym out there, and for my first fight that never happened, I went and I lived in his gym for a week training there every day because they had a lot of fighters at the time. So that was interesting in itself. And
That's cool.
I was all excited. I'm going to explore Buffalo when I'm not training, and then I went and explored Buffalo. I'm like,
I'm going to go back to training.
This
I'm
really
like,
sucks,
there's
man.
nothing here. I crossed the border one day, and because I knew that wasn't too far from Niagara Falls, I'm like, all right. And I'm all excited. I'm going to see Niagara Falls. I'm checking out, like, this is really cool. And after like 10, 20 minutes, I'm like, it's running water.
Well, this sucks.
I'm like, all right then, time to go home.
No, crossing the border there and back, no big deal.
No, not at all. The
Not if you
last-
look like Donald, but if you look like me, you're going to get shot.
They don't care
It's a
at all.
demilitarized zone.
I remember one time I drove through with some friends, and one of my buddies ran the stop sign at the border, and the Border Patrol stops us, and they go, just so you know, guys, running a stop sign here is the same offense as it is in America. And we're like, oh, we're dumb Americans. We had no idea. Like,
No habla inglés.
This guy, dude.
or like the Canadian border one time, it wasn't even Canadian border, but like we were close to it, and the Canadian Border Patrol stopped us with me and my sisters, and they stopped us. So me and my sister, we were all born in different places. I was born in Germany because military. My sister, she was born in England. Another one, technically, we say Virginia, even though it's a border issue there, and then another one in California. And so, like, they stopped and they asked us, where were you guys born? And we explained, and they looked at us all confused. I'm like, this is like, you guys are really serious. And they, like, checked our trunk. I'm just like, dude.
Not everybody's born in the same place, in the same family,
And
right?
I tried to explain to them, I go, we just moved around a lot. We just went wherever the U.S. military told us to go.
I don't even know where my brother was born, actually, now
Yeah.
that you bring it up.
I just discovered my grandma was born in California. I had no idea.
Yeah?
I discovered that I have
So
family.
your roots are here, dude.
I never knew. I
Yeah.
just found out a few weeks ago.
It called to you.
He's not new.
Yeah.
I'm not new, dude.
I found a newspaper article of my great uncle's funeral in Long Beach. And so I'm
That's
actually
wild.
I called them. They said they're looking into talking to some of my family. So
Crazy.
I just thought it was crazy that my DNA test, the majority of my relatives, they found her here in California. So I just thought, that's nuts. That's
Did
crazy.
you do one of those DNA things?
Yeah.
Did you mail
Yeah.
away with your DNA? Now
Mhm.
the government's got your
I
shit.
found out I'm white. I'm
Through and through, I'm
mostly
white.
white.
So the Scottish, Irish, German, what'd they tell you?
I was mostly British and Irish, shocker, and then everything else just here and there, and then a little bit African and Oceanian, which I didn't know.
Where the hell's Oceanian? From
like
the
some,
ocean?
like island people
Oce-
around.
Oceania.
The Oceanian.
Like,
Oceania.
Polynesian
Gotcha, yeah.
and that. So
Kind of like our ramen friends.
I'm
yeah.
basically like Moana, you know?
Yeah. I like it. I like it. A little chocolate, a little
Yeah,
rice,
exactly.
a little bit of this, a
I'm
little bit of
basically
that.
like you took a salad bowl,
You
you
know?
fill it with milk, and then you put half a cocoa puff in and a little sprinkle of cayenne
Pretty
pepper.
cool. Pretty cool that they figure all that out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, I did it for her first because I said, I think you're part Native American. She goes, why? I go, your cheekbones. And then comes
Yeah.
back, she's part Native. I'm like, I win.
What part? Like 1%?
Yep,
Not enough to get casino money?
No, not at all.
Because
Damn it.
that's all I'm
Hey,
after.
I still was right though, so that's all that counts.
Yeah. I need some of that casino money.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not coming my way.
No, you're all
Yeah,
bean, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You're all
bean in
bean.
my dip. Not quite all. Miguel's met my mom, and she's more of your color.
Really?
Mom was born in Holland.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but that's okay. Judge a book by its cover, see what happens.
Exactly.
Just like
It's
Maria
true.
and herself.
Yeah.
Somebody would call her white.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to look into the relationship, like the history of my family, and like I looked at the 1700s, which is where my African culture comes from. I'm like, the Europeans
pretty
were
sure
not
where that
doing
came from,
some
yeah.
very good things.
No.
That was probably not a love. We don't know it was not love. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And you're from the north, so maybe they were cool to them.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's a
Yeah, it was
possibility.
North Africa and Europe was
Yeah.
where it said my DNA was from.
It's
so.
possible. Who knows?
Yeah. So I just thought that was fascinating.
Stuff
though.
gets mixed up, Donald. I love it, man.
Yeah.
But we're running up on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a wonderful hour with Donald Walton, also known as the Soldier's Son. Check him out. He's an amateur fighter right now, but not for long because
Exactly.
he has got his
Is there a
sights set on
relation to Luke
bigger
Walton?
things.
No, I get that question a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
since you guys are New Yorkers, right?
Yeah.
oh, exactly.
Yeah. Also, people think Walmart's actually short for Walton Mart, but
Yeah.
no money in that either.
They
I
sell
wish.
walls there, don't they?
Yeah.
Something like that. But like us, subscribe to us, share this link. If you want to train with Donald, go ahead and head over to Cobrina in LA or train at King's MMA in Huntington Beach. That's
Or
where
if
you
you want
can
to hit
find
him
him.
up for training.
Yeah, House of Power in Westminster.
House of Power across from the mall, right next to the railroad place, in between that and the surfboard factory over there. And you'll find Donald doing his thing, probably not at 2 a.m. because he charges double at that
Yeah,
time.
pretty much. Make me lose my sleep. I will.
And what was your Insta? Where can they catch
Don,
you?
the Soldier's Son Walton, and there is an underscore in between each of those words. I thought that was a smart idea at the time, but
Very cool. I think it is kind of cool. It's unique. But yeah, he's a character. He's funny. He's going to be doing comedy here very soon, and hopefully
look
we'll get him
forward
on
to
for
it.
another show. If he has a fight, buy his tickets. The man needs people to buy tickets, but that is
I
Jim
need to eat
Crasher
people.
tonight.
I need to eat.
That's right. Well, good night to you, brother, and thank you. Good night to you, my friend, and stay awake, buddy. We're on a show. Come on.
I'm tired.
Put your sunglasses on.
I had to go to
Like
work.
you used to. Lean back. Lean like a cholo. You know?
Lean like a cholo.
That's right. All right. Check us out. Jim Crashers. Peace.